Canagold Resources, it's a gold advanced exploration company listed on TSX under the symbol CCM. And it's a company that's really now moving the project, which is probably one of the highest grade undeveloped gold projects in Canada, towards a production path and a production decision. So it's a great company. Really, Canagold, under a different name, has been around for about 30 years. And the new Polaris project, which is our flagship project, has seen about $35–40 million invested historically. The one thing that project lacked really, it's a certainty of funding, which we now have through the commitment made by our largest shareholder, Sun Valley. And for those that don't know Sun Valley Investments is actually a private group that are mine builders and operators. They have 2 producing mines, gold mines in Colombia as we speak, a third one on the path to production. They have a very solid technical team on the technical side, led by an ex-Rio Tinto geologist and engineer. So those are builders, and they have their own funding, which has been basically committed to the extent it's required to Canagold to bring the project from the current state of very advanced project to bankable feasibility, permit, and a production decision. So a lot has changed, and all this change has really happened in the last few months. Up until now, the company has always been very similar to any other junior, playing the tune of the market. You do things well when there's money available, and things slow down, you slow down. Well, we are unique now, somewhat privileged to have both the technical expertise and the financial capability to move our project towards a bankable feasibility and a production decision. And we've been proving that actually we are doers. Since I've joined the company, rejoined the company in a little over a month, we've already announced the restart of drilling, which has been going on as we speak. We've announced that we are very close to select a reputable engineering group to begin the bankable feasibility study. So we expect to make a final decision on that in a matter of weeks. And more importantly, the actual permitting process of the project, luckily has been going on in the background for the last 2 years. So we expect to, actually make the public filing of the process, which kicks the clock starting early next year. So, it's been a lot going on, and there is a lot more that's going to be happening with Canagold as the company moves forward with its plans. So Canagold, as I mentioned earlier, it's a unique company. By the fact that its largest shareholders effectively committed funding to bring the project to bankable feasibility and permitting. This is unlike every other junior out there who really relies on the market and the state of the market to be able to continue its activity. So from a cash perspective, while we'll be raising money as we go forward, we have this firm commitment which ensures that the company can fulfill its promise to deliver a bankable feasibility study in the time frame we're targeting, and to enter the permitting process and hopefully complete this process in the time required to complete the BC permitting process, which is about 2 to 3 years, right? So we are, as I mentioned earlier, privileged to be there. We are very much now on the radar of lots of investors, mostly institutionals, and even during Beaver Creek here, we've had a lot of interest from additional institutional investors that are now finally seeing a path through production eventually, right? So it's a very good position that Canagold currently sits. So the bulk of the work right now is on new Polaris project, which is the one project that's going to move to feasibility. There's been about 30,000 meters of drilling completed to date, which will be included in the updated resource, which will go into the feasibility study, targeting basically 1 million ounces of measured and indicated resources at about 10 grams or more. But we are not going to stop the drills. Drills are going to keep turning. The objective here is to keep turning the drills all the way through a production decision, and possibly even do an update of the feasibility study based on the additional drilling that will be done between the moment that we're talking now and the moment that bankable feasibility study, let's say, it's complete in about a year to 1.5 years. The drills are returning, so by the time you actually get the actual permits, we may have a last-minute update which will further improve the economics of the project just before you go and secure your bank financing to build the mine. So it's a continuous development / exploration story that that we're going to go through. My opinion, it's my personal opinion, we're going to be faced with some difficult markets over the next 12 to 18 months, where juniors will be facing real challenges to maintain the capital required to continue their development, which will be to some extent an advantage to our group, because having the ability to take advantage of weaknesses in the market through Sun Valley's possible interest in additional projects will be something we will pursue. So not only we're going to move project New Polaris towards a feasibility and production decision, but we're very actively looking for other undervalued projects where capital is really the one thing that's needed to move it forward, right? Keep in mind that our group through Sun Valley, they are miners. We are looking at projects in a different lens than other investors. We want to build mines. We want looking for projects that can be put in production, projects that can produce at lower grades, projects that can be permitted, and why not? So, and there are some, as you know, and I think we may be in a position to hopefully, over the next 12 to 18 months, take advantage of some of those opportunities that we see out there. Yeah, I think one thing I wanted to discuss with investors, Canagold does have a 30 years history, and to a large extent, many shareholders, and for good reasons, they lost confidence, right, in the ability to do anything. I want to tell you that fundamentally everything has changed with the company, starting with a much stronger shareholder base, a very solid board, and the ability to withstand the ups and downs of the market through the financing commitments that come from our largest shareholders. So even though we have a 30 years history, to a largest extent, fundamentally it's a brand new company that's starting from a position of strength, starting on what was built before, because everything has been done to date. It's ours to build on, so we're not starting from scratch. So I would encourage you to have a look again at Canagold. And for those long-time shareholders that have not lost patience, I would encourage you to give us, your vote of confidence and hold your shares as things progress. And hopefully, you'll be rewarded.